Thank you. I appreciate, and I want to put that out there too. Like it's been so good and in such a short amount of time that I want to share it with as many people as possible as well.
Mm.
Yeah. I think when I first started, so I had dabbled with a couple other therapists and
EMDR. Oh,
yeah, I was trying to think of the word, but other therapists and things like that. I did do EDMR and it just never felt like I was getting like what I really needed out of it. I felt like I was just stuck in my own body. Like I had no control over anything really that my mind did at all. And it was just like constant fight or flight. And also just, I was never like well. Like even when I was having good times, I still felt that shell almost of just anxiety and just, I was just trapped in here with no way to get out. And
mm,
I would do, the talking, and then I tried the EDMR, and it just, nothing was ever connecting on the level that I needed it to. And I just never had that like safe space with somebody either to where I felt like I could really express what I truly felt till obviously I started coming to you. And it did, even then, like it did take me a couple weeks to be able to really feel comfortable and be able to open that up. I think a lot of that was my own, obviously, because you create like just such a safe space into where you can be authentic and also really say those things, no matter how dark or crazy, whatever. I hate to use that word, but that you think they are and you don't, you're so nervous to like say it to somebody else, but then to get it out and to have you receive it and give you what you need to fill it is just, there's really no words to really put on that and that feeling. I think a lot of it too was understanding, being able to understand my own body and you coaching me through what that meant and what these sensations were and giving titles to these feelings that I never really knew what they were. Excuse me. And so it really just, not only have I been able to overcome the trauma in general, I've learned so much about myself and my own body and the way that it processes things as well. And so now I have times where, in my last session, where things really came full circle for me after my like shock trauma. I think I had some other things in there as well that I didn't realize were contributing so heavily to that, which I would have never, known without going through this experience. I thought I was trying to treat this one awful, terrible thing that happened to me, when in reality, it was this awful thing, but also like years of stuff that needed to be. And so coming out of that, like how I had said, I was just this little shell and stuck in my body. It was like I could feel, this sounds so silly, but I could feel my skin in a way that I never felt it before without that shell and what normal air just feels like on your skin. It really was visually as well. I really saw myself just filling in my body again. My blood was flowing. It felt like I was like being born again almost, just completely back to this new person almost, but in the best way. And it's not that those things don't are gone completely, but I also know what's happening with my body in order to handle that and new things that come up and realizing the difference of, wow, this is really something really deep that I got to get in out, or a tree branch moved the wrong way and now I think there's an intruder, and I have a little flash of like stress. Like it really, knowing my body in this way has created so much power for me And it's incredible. There's really no way to even explain it. Like to live without the chain and just not knowing how to handle things prior, and now just like something happens, rolls off my back onto the next thing. Like I never ever thought that would be something that I was able to do even before I had this, super traumatic event that I wasn't ready to deal with. It's so I struggle with this because when I try to tell people, who I see and like the process of what it goes through, I think the biggest and most important thing that I come back to is just that you are safe. You have the first thing I ever noticed about you, and I remember asking you about this, is just the way that you communicate and the way that you speak.
Mm.
There's never been, it's just the tone in your voice, and you can feel it coming from you, that you have this sense of knowing how to hold the space. And there was never a time where I didn't feel like I fully had your support there with me. And it's virtual, I'm not seeing you in a room where you can really feel that coming off of your body, but it's so clear and it's so important. I think that was the biggest thing for me too, was being able to find somebody that would hold me in that space. And you're so good at that. You're so good at communicating and just like understanding as well. There was never anything that I could say that was going to scare you away, or I felt that I was being judged on. And it just very positive, safe environment and space. And as nerve wracking as it is to do, like, I didn't want to work on my problems. I'm terrified of it. You made it, I was excited because I knew I had the right help and the person that was going to give me what I needed as well.
Thank you for saying all those
And
amazing
you're
things.
also, I know this, whatever, if it gets clipped or whatever, but you're just always so encouraging. There were times where I was so negative in my personal and like how I was feeling, and just beating myself down for having normal feelings, which I didn't know were normal until, explained to me, you're not doing anything wrong. Like, we're working, it's going to take some time. You're going to have this, you're going to have that. But there was never a time that you made me feel like we weren't going to come out on the other end of it.
You recommend this type of work to?
The more that I worked on myself and this big trauma, and realizing that it's not so much this big thing, but a lot of other things that have happened even as a child, which you don't think you remember. And then you sit with it. And I'm like, why am I seeing myself and as a child in the kitchen? Like, that makes no sense. So with that, I think I everybody, I think everybody needs it, and it's just, you don't have to have something awful happen to you. You don't have to have anything awful happen ever, actually, but even just having the understanding of, I guess, just the nervous system opposed from your emotions is so much power. And just knowing yourself and your body and the way you react to things and why. And it's that part of it, I think, has also done not more in any way, but just so much in my everyday life. I was able to put emotions to colors and visually, like, where am I feeling this? Do I feel this here in my body? Do I feel it here? Just knowing what's actually happening it gives you the ability to fix it. When it's all, I used to call it misfiring, where I'm just like, everything's happening. I have so much, just what I thought was just like anxiety, right? Just, it's here, it's stuck, and now it's not though. This is happening here. This is another place. And so then it gives me this time and the space to be like, okay, I feel like this. Well, I need to do this instead. To whereas before it was just oh my gosh, I have so much anxiety. I don't know what to do. I can't calm down. I can never calm myself down. I still have those, right? Panic attacks and things like that, but now I know how to calm my body down and just I need to feel safe. I'm not aware of my like surroundings. There's no threat and just understanding that has been impactful to my life just overall.
Yeah.
I think when you first say that, the first thing that pops to my mind is being able to create boundaries
Mm.
and not they don't have to be these I don't have to be abrasive to people. I don't have to directly tell you what you're doing is hurting. I don't like that. It's more so just been really visualizing what is in front of me and this is my energy and putting an invisible shield up and not letting the other things coming in seep in to where it's just they're being brushed off. And it's every day, it's I wanted that parking spot and somebody took it, right? And my first reaction is, oh my God, what, whatever. But now it's okay. They clearly need that. Let me go find another one. And it's so important too, because I feel like so many outside factors were draining me in that sense to where I work at a doctor's office, not a doctor's office, but an office. We have patients coming in and out. It's inevitable. Things are going to happen. People get upset. And when somebody would get upset with me, I would just fester on it and take it and have to go, sit in a room for 30 minutes to calm down because I could not handle a confrontation at all. It made me so nervous. And now it is what it is. And I'll do my best to stay in here and be the best I can in here. And whatever else is outside of that is just out of my control. And it really is how I react to it, definitely. And in my relationship as well, for a long time, I never said anything. And then I'd get so upset and so mad. And then weeks later, have this big blow up and like, how'd you not know I was so upset about this? And then you flip it on yourself and they don't know. I have to express myself. I can't worry about the judgment of what others think. Like I have to do what my body wants to do and say the things that it's feeling and just kind of roll with. Yeah. And it's so hard to even put into words like how impactful it's been and how powerful it is. I'm so content now. I don't even know. I'm a new version of myself. I've never known myself in this light. And so now it's almost, and I saw you post about this too, which was actually super helpful. And I reference it a lot. But you posted something along the lines of, what do I actually like? What time do I actually like to go to bed? What do I really want to do during the day? And so it's been fun to be able to now kind of figure those things out just in this light. I just never thought I could be in this position or it would just felt like I was going to be stuck for so long and to come out. And it was hard. Like it sucked there for a while. It wasn't all just like great and great and great, but it took me really diving into it and being open to what I needed and what I needed from you and what you were providing to be able to actually come out on the other end of it all. A whole new world out there when you don't have tunnel vision and you can like actually look at people in the grocery store and just function without worry of and now that I think I don't even know what I was worried about. Like just everything, I guess. Like it really brightens everything up and it's so important. I feel like I don't even like to imagine what I would have done or whatever had I not have had this because it's all come full circle and it's amazing. It feels awesome. I've never felt like this. Like I feel like I'm in a new body and it's been mine the whole time. I just never just say, I guess if it's, you scrolled by this and this is the first thing you're seeing and you're like, what in the world is this? It is worth a try. It is there in the worst and it's not for you, then it's not. But it's so is worth it. And just this feeling is I want everybody in the world to feel the way I feel because it's just amazing. It's beautiful. It's been a beautiful experience and just interesting to learn and know about your body. And I love it. It's amazing. But yeah, it's just there's no price that you could put on the treatment that you give. I would, if it was $1,000 a session, I would pay it. Like there's just, it's priceless and it's just, there's just, you hold so much power and just so much space and care and love. I really truly have never met anybody like you, and not in a sense of being a healer. I think it's really hard to find somebody that's able to hold that space and have the capacity in your own life to hold so many other people. I was referred by somebody else, and this person as of same as me. I can never articulate like how powerful you really are, and just there's could never even put a price tag on it. It's just it's the most important thing, and you are just amazing. You have this capacity to hold people in a way that I've never experienced. I've never felt that with anybody else, and it's really incredible. It's just it's an honor to be in your presence, to be able to see you in these sessions all the time. And I'm just glad I was put on the planet at the same time as you were. I just can't imagine having done all this without you. There's no way.